This forecast is underwritten by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Mississippi and the MyBlue mobile app for people on the go. More at bcbsms.com.
Storm system pulling in. It is tapping into at least some tropical moisture, and it looks like we'll be fueling some showers and thunderstorms for parts of the state this weekend. More elevated chances north and central. We'll see showers through the night in Boonville, our low upper 50s, and high-end chances for rain and even some embedded thunderstorms Saturday night, and again on Sunday. Some chances for showers and thunderstorms in Greenville through the early morning, low upper 60s, and those elevated chances for wet weather Saturday and then again on Sunday too. In Macomb, small in chance for rain through the night, then scattered showers Saturday. Picking up more rainy weather by Saturday night, lingering into Sunday. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Ramon. This is Think Radio.
Good evening, gentlemen. It is week 12, Friday night under the lights, and we are in playoff season now, because I think everybody's in playoffs.
Yes,
right?
yes.
No more.
Or headed there.
Or headed there. We've got people with byes and a lot of games last night. So, Russ, take it over.
Thank you very much, Chris Saxon. Our producer, George Broadstreet, joins me tonight. Ty Bailey back on the phones tonight. 877-672-7464 if you'd like to be a part of the program. You know, this is the time of year when a lot of people call in and they say, I've been listening to the show all year, but I hadn't called, and I won't talk about my team. And we like that because next week, half of these schools are going to be gone. You know, it's a playoffs.
Yeah, and really, you know, when you look at it, and Chris talked about how, you know, so many schools are in playoffs. Looking at, there was like, oh gosh, there was over 30 games last night. There's, you know, about 60 games tonight. But, you know, that's down from like 150 when we were at the max.
Right.
And you're right. It'll be substantially cut next week and the week following. But it's interesting. And, you know, it's kind of, you know, it's one of those things where in the MHSAA, the bottom four divisions are in playoffs. 5A, 6A, 7A don't start till next week. So a lot of them played last night. And, you know, we'll give you a lot of those scores from last night.
And the MAIS is in the first round of their playoffs in 6A.
Yep.
And you had St. Joe going to Hartfield tonight. And you had PCS, and Tommy Barnett's going to call us about this, the playing JA, and
that ended up being a close game.
Very close. A lot of people wouldn't have even thought it was going to be that close, but it was. And I can't wait to talk to Tommy to get his take on the ball game. You know, everybody's talking about, and justifiably so, everybody's talking about JA's defense, and it is good. But, you know, their offense is trying to get on track. They brought a new quarterback into the ball game, and he's doing really well. They got a couple of their receivers back, so we'll keep an eye on that. But obviously Hartfield, no problem with St. Joe, and so that sets up a matchup next week between MRA and Hartfield, round two.
Round two.
Yeah.
So Prep gets Jackson Academy.
Yes. Yeah. So Prep was off tonight, and
Right.
And MRA was off tonight. 1 and 2 get a bye, and so you know, it's, I don't know what the percentage is of teams that had to play in that first round that really don't play that well the next game because they're just, you know, worn out, they're tired. So we'll see how that affects. I can't see the Hawks getting just really tired.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. But again, you know, MRA and Prep both beat Hartfield in the regular season. But Hartfield's going to, you know, I mean, MRA's got to beat Hartfield twice to get to the championship.
It's hard to do.
And it's hard to do, for sure.
And Prep's got to beat either one of them.
A second time to win a championship.
Yeah, so that's good. Even harder to do. And the championship game for 6A will be at Mississippi College.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Robinson Hale Stadium.
That's correct. So
that's the reason we have the stadium over there.
for that game.
One game. It's kind of like the Cotton Bowl now.
That means I need to go out and get a sport jacket like Lindsey. What was his name?
Lindsey Nelson.
Lindsey Nelson. We got not only the playoffs, but in the first weekend in December, the MHSAA will have their state championship games at Southern this year. And then after that, Friday Night Under the Lights will produce and call the Mississippi-Alabama All-Star Game, which will be at University of South Alabama this year. And then after that, Friday Night Under the Lights will produce, the Bernard Blackwell. And people are voting right now for that extra spot on the roster.
Yeah. Now, the Bernard Blackwell game, that's in Gulfport.
Correct,
right?
at Milner Stadium.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And South
Alabama has a relatively new stadium. Is that right?
It's nice.
Okay.
It is really, really nice.
Yeah.
So, we'll have to travel over there, and I've gone and, in fact, this week I kind of pulled that roster out. Got a pretty good roster going over there. So, and that'll be interesting. But you're gonna be. I think you can still vote. I think D. Moyer said you had till next Thursday. I think you can still vote
And get a player on the roster.
Right, but next week he'll be on the show with us to announce who made the North as an extra player and who made the South as an extra player. So,
and he's going to be on the 9th, though, according to your sheet.
Yes. So he's going to. I think he's going to wrap up and tell us when the last day is you can vote, and so we'll get all that in tonight. Going to have Tony Vance on tonight, who is the head
Undefeated
coach.
Hattiesburg.
Undefeated Hattiesburg. Wouldn't it be something if it was Hattiesburg and Tupelo in that?
No, it can't be Hattiesburg because
are they in the same?
No, Hattiesburg 6A. Yeah,
you're right.
Yeah,
so it's Tupelo and whoever.
Probably Brandon.
Ooh.
I mean, that's the way it's looking now. It's got to play out, but that's the way it's sort of shaping up.
And Tupelo, do they have a loss? I don't think so.
No, they haven't. Nobody. In fact, I think they beat Starkville last night 29-14. That's probably as close as anybody's come to them. But, it was almost the same exact scenario last year where they had just steamrolled everybody, and then they got in the playoffs and lost, I think, in the second round. So, anyway, we'll see. It's like everything else. You can win this, but you got to win when it really counts.
Well, how many times have we seen Brandon? I mean, I thought Brandon for the last 3 years, and we're going to talk to Jake Wimberly tonight, but I thought they were the best.
Could have won a state championship
for the last 3 years.
But have you seen Brandon play?
No.
I mean, I've seen a little bit of clip of them.
They're huge.
They're like a college team. I'm serious. I mean, that's what they look like.
The reason I laugh is that someone told me that this week.
Yeah, they're frontline guys. That's what they look like.
Well, I've seen clips. I just haven't seen the whole game.
Yeah.
And
I've seen enough to know. I mean,
I think I would like to go back and see the whole game when they played Clinton.
Yeah. I mean, we talked about that earlier, and we'll get to some scores. But, Clinton had to beat Madison Central to make the playoffs. And, that was going to be a tough call. And Madison Central, they won 49-39. Clinton really had a good year. I mean, 4-6. They didn't make the playoffs, but heck, they had wins over Brandon.
Yeah.
Warren Central, and Starkville.
Yeah.
And that says a lot. I mean, even though they didn't make the playoffs, if they'd been able to, I believe if they'd stayed within 8 points of Germantown, they would have been in the playoffs. But anyway, we'll look at those brackets. We got the brackets.
Let's go ahead and talk about last night and get those scores in.
All right, we'll talk about some last night's scores, and there were a lot of games, and we won't be able to cover them all now, but we'll cover a few. Brookhaven beat Natchez 36-20. It was Neshoba Central 33, Callaway 14. Holmes County Central outscored Canton 44-33. Saltillo shut out Center Hill by the score of 21-0. It was Biloxi edging DeIberville 24-23. Stone over East Central 24-6. Greenville beat Gentry 18-6. Grenada. This was a great game. Grenada and South Panola.
South
Panola
right down the road from each other.
Yeah, absolutely. But Grenada won They're now 10-1 on the season. They defeated South Panola 21-13. Grenada is a great story. I mean, Grenada was just,
they were never in any conversation.
They were never in any conversation up for the last couple of years. And they have really improved their program and beat South Panola last night by 8 points, 21-13. Gulfport over Harrison Central, 49-21. We mentioned Hattiesburg. They're 10-0. They defeated West Jones, a very good football team, 24-3 last night. Lake Cormorant shut out Olive Branch 28-0. Gaucher beat Laurel 42-6. DeSoto Central 42, Lewisburg 7. West Harrison outscored Long Beach 61-7. We mentioned Madison Central 49, Clinton 39. Pearl won last night. They beat Meridian at home 35-19.
I
don't know if they've scored 35 points this season. But Pearl
Greg will be along tonight.
Greg will be along. They finished 3-7, which is way below, their normal standard,
Right.
but they did get a good win last night. Murrah defeated Jim Hill 43-2. Now, I'm not sure exactly how that ended up that way, but it was 43-2. I've seen that in a couple of different places. West Point beat New Hope 14-7. Brandon, as mentioned, very good team. They defeated Northwest Rankin 45-22. Oak Grove, this was a great rivalry game. Oak Grove edged Petal 24-21.
Ooh.
It was Ocean Springs 42, St. Martin 15. Oxford beat Hernando 42-9. Pascagoula over George County 43-13. Picayune won their 9th game of the year. They beat Hancock 35-17. It was Florence shutting out Provine 35-0. Horn Lake over South Haven 35-27. South Jones 23, North Pike 8. Let me give you a few more. It was Terry over Forest Hill 34-18. Tupelo, we mentioned this earlier, but Tupelo's 10-0. They defeated Starkville 29-14. Wayne County over Van Cleve 56-34. Ridgeland beat Vicksburg 42-21. Warren Central shut out Columbus 35-0. And Cleveland Central over Yazoo City 47-12. Those are the scores from last night.
Now, how many of those were playoff? Well, none of them.
None of those were playoff games.
So they're either your season ended in 7A or you're advancing to the playoffs.
Right, exactly. Yeah,
and
exactly.
Whether you won or lost those games last night will depend on where you go.
Correct. And Will does. Oh, well, you know me give that right now.
Yeah.
Tell me the playoff bracket.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let me
Now
see.
the playoff brackets, Dr. Dave's going to have them up. That's going to be made possible by Cricket Wireless. He's going to have the the brackets up on the website.
You need a visual. You need a visual.
Yeah.
That's very important. All right. These are 7A. These are the North 7A playoff games. Germantown will travel to Oxford. DeSoto Central travels to Madison Central. Tupelo plays host to Lewisburg. And Horn Lake plays host to Starkville. Those are the North teams. In the South, it is Brandon hosting D'Iberville, Gulfport hosting Petal, Ocean Springs hosting Northwest Rankin, and finally, last but not least, Oak Grove will be hosting Biloxi. That's 7A.
Pretty good matchups there.
Some pretty good matchups. All right, these are 6A. 6A, Callaway has to travel to Grenada in the north. Lake Cormorant travels to Neshoba Central. Warren Central plays host to Saltillo. And South Panola plays host to Ridgeland. In the 6A South, Hattiesburg hosts Hancock. Pascagoula will host Terry. Picayune hosts Pearl River Central. And West Jones will host George County. That's a pretty good game.
That'd be
there.
a good game.
And let's see. Turning over here to 5A. West Point in the north will host Yazoo City. Holmes County Central will host Corinth. Cleveland Central hosts Pontotoc. And New Hope hosts Canton. And in the south, Brookhaven is at home against Van Cleve. Stone will host Florence. Gaucher will host Natchez. And South Jones will host Wayne County. So that's
a lot of people like South Jones this year.
Yeah, of course, when you get in these playoffs, some of those games, just quite frankly, in some of them, they're a little bit of a mismatch because, the records and all. But, records are not everything.
They're made to be broken.
They're made to be broken. That's right.
Well, that is a good wrap-up of last night's game and the playoff scenarios. Got a lot of folks going to come in and talk to us tonight. Mike Peterson is going to talk about the Hattiesburg Tigers. Sugar Ray Coleman will be along to talk to us about the Aris loss last night. And so many more. You keep it right here on MPB Think Radio or Funnel.com, Friday Night Under the Lights.com, or Roku, Fire Stick. I mean, if we go through the list, Facebook, YouTube, we're everywhere.
I'm glad you understand all of that.
I had no idea what I'm talking about. We're going to take a time out. We'll be back with more Friday Night Under the Lights, made possible tonight by Malone Roofers. They're more than just roofers. They're a part of your community.
At Mississippi Public Broadcasting, we tell local stories that matter. Educational and entertaining television, radio, news, and podcasts. We have something for everyone. So tune in and enjoy all we have to offer. Every day, MPB. Your stories, our mission.
Hello, Mississippi. Did you know that the average student graduates college with $30,000 worth of debt? That amount of debt can delay major life milestones, including getting married, buying a home, and starting a family. But don't worry, we've got some good news for you tonight. College Savings Mississippi and Treasurer David McRae can help you reduce or eliminate that debt. Their plans are flexible and affordable. Start saving for as little as $25 today. Visit treasury.ms.gov/college savings to learn more.
People who come to Cricket stay with Cricket.
I volunteer at a bunny rescue, and with Cricket, my bill is consistent.
Wait, this is huge! A new offer, 5G for $15. You heard it here first. 5G plans starting at $15 a month. Smile, you're on Cricket.
If the money's yours, you should have it. That's why State Treasurer David McRae has returned a record $80 million in unclaimed money to Mississippians, and there's hundreds of millions more, maybe with your name on it. Check the list. Visit www.treasury.ms.gov and see if you have any of the unclaimed money. Each year, banks, utilities, businesses, brokers, and insurance companies turn over millions of dollars to the state because they're not sure who is entitled to the funds. Treasurer McRae has an entire unclaimed money staff waiting to take your claim and return your money. Check the list today. Treasury.ms.gov.
Welcome back to Friday Night Under the Lights. Russ and George with you on this Friday night, and also Chris Saxon, our producer, Ty Bailey on the telephones, and so many of you calling in. We appreciate it. I asked one guy this week, I said, have you called in this year? And he goes, no. He goes, everybody that you have on, I like listening to. So if I get on there, I'll sound terrible.
Well, we have some characters.
And we're going to be talking to a bunch of
them. Yeah.
Well, one of those that is not a character, but he's a great guy, is Mike Peterson over in Hattiesburg, who took care of business last night. Hi, Mike. How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. How are y'all doing tonight?
We're doing fine. You know, back in August, you and I were talking, and you said, I think we can run the table. And I don't know what you knew, but this is probably one of the best Hattiesburg teams they've had in quite a while.
It really is. I knew defensively that they were going to be very, very good, but I did not know that they were going to be great. We've given up 86 points all year in 10 games, which is 8 points a game. And last night, let me tell you, something I've never seen in in football. West Jones had the ball twice on 2 possessions, 7 plays inside the Hattiesburg 5-yard line. And if you know West Jones, they got that great running back.
Oh, yeah.
The quarterback is great. 7 times inside the 5-yard line, Hattiesburg stopped them. West Jones went for it on the first possession on 4 downs, got stopped at the 1-yard line, got the ball again after a interception, went back to the 3-yard line. Hattiesburg stuffed them again on 3 plays. West Jones decided to take the points and kick a field goal, but stopped them 7 times inside the 5-yard line. And you could say that was a turning point of the ball game, even though it was in the first quarter. But Hattiesburg won it 24-9. Deuce Vance passed for over 240 yards last night. You know, today he was named the Class 6A Player of the Year.
Yep.
Also, the turning point of the game, West Jones was driving with Hattiesburg up 15-9, and I can't think of his first name. His last name is Pont, but picked it off. Pick 6, went 85 yards for a touchdown, and Hattiesburg cruised the rest of the way.
Wow. And look, I've seen West Jones up close and personal this year. That is a solid football team. And for Hattiesburg to do that, and especially when you're stopping a team from less than 10 yards out and you get it down to the 1 and you still don't get in, that's stout.
Right.
That's stout.
That is stout. But, you know, now, even though we're 10-0, everybody now is 0-0.
Yep.
It's a whole new season.
Yep.
So, going to do what we've been doing the whole year and hopefully get a playoff win versus Hancock.
How did you like Thursday night playing football?
Did not like Thursday night playing football because I had to get up at 6 o'clock this morning and go to work.
Yeah, you're used to just sleeping in on Saturday morning. But, you know,
right.
in order to get all of these, you know, one thing I heard someone say this week was, at least if you play on Thursday and maybe your team plays on Thursday and you want to go and take in another game on Friday just to see a good high school football game, you can do that.
Absolutely. But believe it or not, Russ, I took an open date tonight. I stayed home tonight.
Whoa! Whoa!
Yeah. You know. I may have problems or something. I don't know what was wrong with me tonight. I just decided to stay home and take it easy tonight.
Yeah. Well, just sit there by that by the little brown jug. Where is that little brown jug anyway?
That little brown jug is in the athletic office of the high school.
There you go. Okay. Well, we're hopefully going to be talking with Tony Vance tonight. He's, of course, having a great year, but he's also head coach in the Mississippi-Alabama All-Star game.
He deserves it,
Yep.
Especially with the season he's having this year. And, you know, his son is also going to be a participant in that Mississippi-Alabama All-Star game.
Yep. And, you know, it doesn't seem like that long ago that young man came in as a freshman to try to run this team. And he got banged up, I remember, but he has hung with it, and he's a heck of a player.
He is. And better kid and a better football player. I tell you what, the Vance family is just a great family.
Well, I've known Tony, I guess, 10, 15 years, and you're right. I mean, and the folks that listen to the show tonight are going to also agree with us. I mean, he's just class, and he runs a class football program, and they do it right, and that's the bottom line. Well, Mike, I appreciate you staying up with us tonight, but you can sleep in tomorrow, so you know it's you'll be all right.
Absolutely.
Well, give us a call next week and let us know how you did in that first round, but it sure does look like to me that the Tigers are making their way to Southern.
Absolutely. Y'all have a great weekend.
Thanks, Mike. Mike Peterson of the Hattiesburg Tigers. Have you gotten any new scores in?
Yeah, I do. Let me give you this. Let's see. These are 4A. I don't have all of them, but I have a good number of them. 4A, these are playoff games. New Albany beat Greenwood 25-12. Forest 49, Bay High 7. Lanier beat Sumrall 28-21. Forest County 49, Raymond 6. Columbia 55, Richland 3. These are 3A playoff scores. You got Booneville 17, Moorville 7, Choctaw County over Mantachie 47-6, East Webster 41, Belmont 6, Noxubee County over St. Stanislaus 42-3, Jefferson Davis County beat Wesson 46-26, Seminary over South Pike 20-12, Jefferson County 38, Hazelhurst 14, McGee over Franklin County 39-7. This is continuing on. You see why they start these playoffs, because there's so many.
There's a lot of them.
Union over Walnut 55-28. Philadelphia beat Hatley 44-3. Pisgah 51. Mitt County 20. Lord Star over Pelahatchie 42-3. MAIS 48. Lake 12. Raleigh over Wilkinson County 47-0. 2A scores: Baldwin 49, Smithville 0. Lumberton over McEvans 42-12. Taylorsville shut out Ethel 46-0. Velma Jackson, no trouble with Mount Olive, winning 62-6. These are 6A MAIS scores. We mentioned this one earlier, but Jackson Academy beat PCS 24-20. Hartfield had no trouble with Madison St. Joe 56-7. In 5A MAIS, Leak over Simpson 45-36. 4A, it was Tri-County beating Centerville 35-14. And Columbia edged Central Hines 27-21. And that's kind of a wrap of what I have at the moment, Russ.
Okay, all right. Well, if you're out there tonight and you're maybe headed back from your ball game, give us a call, 877-672-7464. We got Ray Coleman on deck along with Jake Wimberly going to call. Tommy Barnett's going to call about that JA game. And, this was the last game for PCS in the MAIS.
Oh, yeah, it sure is.
So
they're moving to 4A, is that right?
I've heard it's possibly 4, but more likely 3.
Okay. Well, and this is, of course, if you don't understand, and, I don't understand a whole lot, but that's the reason why the playoffs are kind of skewed the way they are, is because in 7A, they're only 32 teams, period.
Right.
And in 6A and 5A, there are not that many schools. But when you get down in Mississippi and you have those classifications, 4A, 3A, 2A, 1A, there's a whole lot of schools. I mean, a lot of schools. And so that's the reason why they have to stay out. They have to start the playoffs 2 weeks ahead.
And I've had the privilege of calling a bunch of those games over the years in the state championship games, and that 1A game is always
it's great.
It's a great game.
Yeah,
it's like everybody in town is there. I mean,
yeah,
if you're going to be a crook, it's a great day to do that. But over the years, you just look back at some of those games and the guys that went on to play. Some of these kids on 1A will play on Saturday.
Yeah, they sure will.
So, but there we go.
May not the whole squad, but one or two can make it.
Well,
sure.
Yeah, right. And usually you find out they go both ways.
Do you want to start the interview with Ray Coleman and then maybe just hold him over into the...
Yeah.
So, he's not where I can put him on yet.
He's going to call. Ray, of course,
he's on.
All right, there we go.
No, hang on. I mean, he's talking to
Ty.
To Ty.
Yes.
Ty's long-winded. Yeah.
Oh, crumb.
We lost him.
Now he's gone. Okay, sorry. Keep
he
talking.
told Ty he was too sleepy.
He's coming back, but we're probably going to have to hold him over.
Okay.
Well, that's fine anyway. Hey, want to remind you that tonight's show made possible by Cricket Wireless. Of course, this is, man, I'm already seeing the Christmas stuff on television and hearing it on radio, and this is the time of year. And Cricket Wireless has a lot of plans that fit a lot of different people. So all of their information can be found on cricketwireless.com, and you can usher in the holiday season with a Cricket phone. Smile, you're on Cricket. And they next week we'll have our last 8 men. I talked to Clayton Jackson today. He's back, and Cricket is we're gonna pick out a game next week, and Clayton will be there for the whole game. And so it should be a great night at the 8-man game next week. We're going to take a timeout. Sugar Ray Coleman on deck. Going to talk about those Clinton Arrows in just a moment. Friday Night Under the Lights continues in a moment.
At Mississippi Public Broadcasting, we tell local stories that matter. Educational and entertaining television, radio, news, and podcasts. We have something for everyone. So tune in and enjoy all we have to offer every day. MPB, your stories, our mission.
I was paying too much money in 5G, and then my son suggested that I should try Cricket. It was easy to switch.
And we love easy. Yeah! Smile, you're on Cricket.
I was paying too much money in 5G, and then my son suggested that I should try Cricket. It was easy to switch.
And we love easy. Yeah! Smile, you're on Cricket.
Cricket has free Samsung Galaxy phones. Whoa! Free phone? That's 5G. And nationwide coverage.
Pretty good deal.
Smile, you're on Cricket.
1 in 10 Mississippians has unclaimed money awaiting claim at the state treasury. There's literally hundreds of millions of dollars waiting to be united with the rightful owner. At www.treasury.ms.gov to search. You'll see your name and stake your claim by following these instructions. You'll be asked for some basic ID like a copy of your license or a government-issued ID, then hit send. Treasurer David McRae has a dedicated unclaimed money team awaiting your claim, ready to return your money. Don't wait. Look for your name and stake your claim today. www.treasury.ms.gov.
Cricket has free Samsung Galaxy phones? What?
Nationwide coverage and lightning fast 5G?
Smile, you're on Cricket.
Mississippians love football, and our high schools in South Mississippi like Gulfport, Moss Point, and Ocean Springs stay connected with their students, parents, and community by live streaming events, including football through WSN Live. WSN Live provides your school with everything you need for professional and seamless live streams that are easy for students to run. And your fans can watch online from anywhere on any device. With WSN Live, your school gets the right gear, a rock-solid network, and game-time tech support. Learn more at WSNLive.com.
Welcome back to Friday Night Under the Lights, made possible tonight by David McRae, Mississippi State Treasurer. And boy, what a great year we've had with them this year, and so far, and got still more to go. But really have enjoyed working with them. And you know, that college saving program and the unclaimed money, that is two things that folks in this state need. And so you're definitely going to want to check that out. Let's go to the telephone, as predicted. Ray Coleman going to join us. You know what, Ray? I was thinking this afternoon. I know what the criteria is for Coach of the Year. I've been around long enough to know. It always seems to go to people that go undefeated or win the championship or whatever. But I think if you look at John Carr at Clinton High School and the job that he did with this Arrow football team this year, his name's got to be in the mix.
No question about it, man. And I don't like to play, shoulda, coulda, wouldas, but this Clinton Arrow team should have had 6 wins this year. Now, they did not. They missed the playoffs, but they were in contention. They had an opportunity in their last 2 games to advance to the postseason. Coming off of a 1-win season, I don't know if you can ask for much more. What Coach Carr did in his first year is very impressive, and I think what he has done now is establish a culture of expectation that is what we should be looking forward to in the next few years.
Well, and Ray, if you look at the teams, yeah, okay, they won 4 ball games, but if you look at the teams they beat, I mean, we're talking about Brandon and Starkville.
Yeah, man, it's a true Jekyll and Hyde situation because they're coming from a situation where they only won 1 game. Sometimes they had to learn how tough it is to win games. So you would see them beat a Brandon, and then they would lose to Grenada. Grenada's a really good team. They would go on the road and lose to South Panola, and then they would come back and beat Starkville. So you would see these highs and lows, and you understand why, because you're building, truly building a program. I'm excited for these young men. Coach Carr is going to return a lot of youth. A lot of young players that have played significant minutes that are going to come back next year and be big-time contributors, including the starting quarterback in Joseph Walker.
Yeah, that's a real plus. That and he's got a year under his belt now. I look for Clinton to really make some noise next year, and you've done a great job of calling those games and keeping us informed on Friday night about the errors this year. It's going to be kind of sad to see you drop out unless you want to go find a team and continue calling on Friday night.
Man, you know me, I love it. I really do. It's not work. It's a privilege to be able to sit behind that mic and bring it to the people that take the time out to listen, man. So I appreciate everybody who just takes a few hours to hang out with us. I'll be around. I'm a football fan always, so I'll be listening to you guys and other broadcasts across the state. But if you're looking for me, I'll be hanging out with a 6-year-old and my wife. And my wife says I'm a 6-year-old, so 2 6-year-olds and my wife will be hanging out for the rest
a
of
set
the
of twins. Who knew?
There you go.
Hey, Ray, thanks so much for making us part of your Friday night, and enjoy your 6-year-old, and we'll see you back here next year.
You guys have a great one, man. I appreciate you as always.
All righty. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Ray.
Tommy Barnett.
Oh, Tommy. Tommy. Tommy, I look up there and it's 17-10, and I'm saying no way. It's just no way. What went on at the Brickyard tonight?
Well, you know, Russ, keep in mind, these 2 teams played 2 weeks ago down in Hattiesburg. It was 38-0, and I don't know if it was that close. Jay, there was no pulse, no energy, no effort. Excuse me. Effort was there. The execution was not there. Just dead stadium. Really flirted with disaster for the better part of 3.5 quarters. And Russ, it was 6 minutes and some change left in the 4th quarter, 20-10. BCF had just kicked a field goal to make it a 2-score game. And in a minute, so after that, Jay had 2 scoring drives, Russ. You know, I always like these crazy stats.
Yep.
2 scoring drives, a total of 8 plays, 141 yards in a minute and 47 seconds.
Now, that's a stat.
Yeah, I mean, it was a big play that got us down, made it 20-17, 3 and out, another big passing play. You know, Pruitt James really struggled tonight for the first time as a starter, but found his groove in the 4th quarter, and Jay defense made enough plays, to advance to face Jackson Prep next week. Flowood.
Yeah, that's going to be that'll be the 2nd time this year that they've come over to Flowood to play over there. Let me ask you, we've talked all, and you've been very frank and honest about this, and I really appreciate that. And you said, we can win some games because our defense is so solid, and it is, but our offense has not caught up yet to where the defense is. But slowly over the past 3 or 4 weeks, that offense is catching up.
Yeah, I mean, Russ, we had almost, I think this was now the 4th or 5th straight game where we've either eclipsed the 400-yard mark or have gotten real close to a 400-yard mark. And in high school ball, that's a pretty solid offense. And like the Pruitt James, the game is really slowing down for the young kid.
Mm-hmm.
Throwing the ball well. The offensive line, we got a couple of starters back that had missed most of the season. But, kind of gelling at the right time. But, man, we really took a chance tonight and sweat walked for the better part of 3.5 quarters. But found some brickyard magic late and survive in advance. That's all you do right now.
Well, you know what? I've been in that brickyard, as you know, a lot, and I've seen a lot of magic in there. So, nice scoreboard, too, over there at the brickyard. So, we will see you next week. We will talk to you next Friday, and
That's right.
It should be a good one.
That's right, man. We'll talk to you soon, bro.
Thanks, Tommy.
Thanks, Russ.
All right, bro.
Greg Flynn.
Greg and the Pirates won't go. Did you go to Meridian?
No, it was here.
Oh, okay. Because I was going to say, Ray Stadium, I've seen some strange things happen at Ray Stadium. Both George and I have. We've done games over there. But, hey, you know what? This was a nice win for you guys over Meridian.
It was awesome. The kids finally put it together, offense, defense, special teams. It was so much fun to watch. And they got themselves out of last place. As bad as the season went, they didn't finish in last place.
Well, and there's a lot to be said for that. And you kept saying every week these guys are going to put it together. They're going to put it together. And I guess tonight it was like a light switch went on?
Yeah, well, last night, it was. Meridian helped out a lot. Meridian is not what Meridian has been. I liken it this way. Meridian's offense, they scored 19 points. Pearl scored 35. But Meridian's offense was like watching backyard football.
I've seen some great games in the backyard.
Well, and that's how it kind of was. They would just take it and fumble the football, get it, and then just throw it as far down the field as they could. And maybe somebody would catch it, maybe somebody wouldn't. And then they'd fumble the football again, and then they'd pick it up and then run it for 40 yards. It was like I thought they were running fumble roofsies at one point, but it was effective. But man, I was so proud for those seniors, those Pirate seniors that endured a very rough season. They go out on a high note with that win, and it gives the young kids a little bit of positivity going into the spring. To know that they did close out that season with a win. And
you got some Pirates in these All-Star games coming up.
Yeah, that's going to be a whole lot of fun. So in the Blackwell North-South game, we have the kicker Colston Bennett and Kinji Air McNair, the wonderful wide receiver, made a great high point of the football in the end zone last night for a touchdown. Actually had 2 touchdowns last night. So Kinji will be showcased in the Blackwell, and then in the Mizal game, hold on to your hats for our 2 defenders, because big number 99, Cam Hewitt and Caleb Arterberry will be showcased in the Mizal game on that defense.
Well, and you know what, defense, and you've done this game for the last couple of years, that defense has to really show up against Alabama.
We're going to take it to Alabama this year. We got a couple of Pirates on there. We're really going to take it to Alabama.
All right. I'm going to hold you to that, big boy.
All righty.
Well, listen, man, we appreciate you calling. I hate the season has come to an end, but, if you just want to find another team next week and call in, that'd be great.
Well, hey, I'll tell you right now, quick prediction out of 7A. I think it's going to be Brandon versus Madison Central in the state title game.
Ooh. What about Tupelo?
You think they'll upset Tupelo?
I do think they will upset Tupelo.
Okay. Madison's
really starting to play very, very well right now, and their defense, defense wins.
Yeah.
And I think that Madison will get them. I think they're going to have to go to Tupelo just because of the way the season's going to go. But I look for Brandon to play Madison, and I look for Brandon to win the state championship there first. Finally,
yeah. Hopefully we're going to talk to Jake in the next segment, so we'll get his take on that. But Greg, have a great weekend, and of course we'll hear you again on the 2 All-Star games later on in about 3-4 weeks.
Can't wait. And by the way, that's reverse psychology, by the way. Saying Brandon's going to win there first from a Pearl guy, no, they won't.
You got to stay true to your team now. I mean, you just got to.
Oh, you got it, dude.
Thanks, Greg.
All right.
Righty. Bye-bye.
So you think Greg is trying to jinx Brandon by saying that? Is that what he's doing?
He's got an ulterior motive behind this.
Okay.
You got to think that he does.
Yeah.
Hey, Leak won a big ball game tonight, and we're going to have Philip Palmertree coming on.
Yeah, they did.
And they did win a very big ball game. And Philip's going to be along. We're also going to have Tommy Upton and Reed Vance and Cliff Barker. We just got a lot of folks that are going to give us a report on their football teams tonight. Keep it right here. Friday night Under the Lights continues in a moment, made possible tonight by Cricket Wireless. Smile. You're on Cricket. We'll be back.
At Mississippi Public Broadcasting, we tell local stories that matter. Educational and entertaining television, radio, news, and podcasts. We have something for everyone. So tune in and enjoy all we have to offer. Every day, MPB. Your stories, our mission.
Mississippi football families, have you thought about how you're going to tackle student loan debt? Don't do it on your own. Pass the ball to State Treasurer David McRae and his College Savings Mississippi team today. With College Savings Mississippi, you can lock in today's tuition rate, prepay college, and avoid student loan debt altogether. Don't let your finances get sacked because you didn't invest in your child's education. Visit treasury.ms.gov/college savings to learn more today.
I was paying too much money in 5G, and then my son suggested that I should try cricket. It was easy to switch.
And we love easy. 4. Yeah. Smile, you're on cricket.
I was paying too much money in 5G, and then my son suggested that I should try cricket. It was easy to switch.
And we love easy. 4. Yeah. Smile, you're on cricket.
Cricket has free Samsung Galaxy phones. Whoa! Free phone? That's 5G. And nationwide coverage.
Pretty good deal.
Smile, you're on cricket.
Welcome back to Friday Night Under the Lights. We're barreling toward the 11 o'clock hour. Glad to have you with us. By the way, the ticker is working tonight, Chris?
Yes.
Okay. Dr. Dave up in Booneville got the, no, not Booneville, Boone. Got to drop the bull on there. Boone, North Carolina. And he's got the ticker going tonight. He's also got us hooked up on Facebook and YouTube and Roku and Fire Stick and all that other stuff. And, of course, MPB radio if you're in your car. A lot of folks, this time of year when you get a lot of people crossing north and south playing, playoff games and things like that. League Academy, we mentioned a moment ago, had a really big win tonight. And Philip Palmertree joins us now. Philip, this apparently is a really good league football team.
Yeah, it really is. They just find ways to move the football, and they win 45-36 in a rematch with Simpson tonight. But it was a 10-6 game at halftime. We didn't have any idea we were going to have that kind of score in the second half. But second half, both those teams started landing punches like it was Clubber Lang and Rocky Balboa in Rocky III.
Well, yes, but you must have to be that low a score at halftime and then in with all of these points. And let me ask you this, Philip. Is Simpson the Simpson that you're normally used to?
Well, yes and no. I mean, yes in that they are year in, year out. They're physical. They play quality ball. I think they may not have as much depth up front this year as they have in recent years. And I think that's the thing that's tripped them up a little bit through the year. But they're a very well-coached team. I mean, they came out in an offensive set that we didn't even see. We certainly didn't see 2 weeks ago when we played them in Madden. And frankly, it was offensive set that we haven't seen all year. And they moved the ball well in the first half, but the Rebels adjusted to it. Rebels end the night with better than 450 yards of offense, about 350 through the air. And, you know, George Wilcox and those receivers really put on a show in the second half. League pulled away from the win, but Simpson kept hanging in there and, kept it close. So League moves to the semifinals. We're going up the interstate to play Magnolia Heights next Friday night. For the winner goes to the 5A championship game. The other side of the 5A bracket in MAIS is going to be Capaya at Park Lane.
That'll be a good matchup. I've seen them both. Yeah. I've seen them both up close. That'll be a good matchup. Phil, we got a bunch of people on the line and got to get to them, but thanks for giving us that report, and I definitely want to hear from you next Friday night on this thing.
Yeah, and hey, tomorrow, 2 o'clock, I got JUCO semifinals, Holmes at East Central, so it's rolling, baby.
And you won't be tired at all, will you?
Not at all.
Okay, Phil. Thanks so much, brother.
Yeah.
All right, Chris, who we got?
Cliff Barker.
Cliff, it seems like a year since we've heard anything from Tri-County, but they just keep winning, and so Cliff joins us tonight. Cliff, another night at the office for these guys?
Yeah, but I got to mention first, since I just heard Philip, I'll be actually calling the other side of that game with Philip tomorrow. I'll be calling the home side tomorrow.
That's right, because you handle Holmes, right?
Yeah, I do call it for Holmes, so I'll be on the other side of the ball field from Philip tomorrow calling that ball game, so I'll be headed to Decatur tomorrow as well. But yeah, Tri-County had Centerville there tonight, so we had to face Hurst in his double wing offense tonight. Hurst in his 400 and something wins, 48 years.
Yeah.
But it was Centerville showed up with a heck of a ball team. I mean, some really physical kids, and it was tight the first half, 14-7 at halftime. Centerville came out after the half. Tri-County scored to make it 21-7. Centerville responded, made it 21-14. But then the Rebels, it was kind of unusual. I was talking to the kid Rhett Gray that got player of the game, and we interviewed him. Tri-County's supposed to be the high flying offense that rips off the big plays. And the funny thing was, Centerville, with their double wing, two tight formation, actually had 4 or 5 big plays on play action passes, and Tri-County ended up relying on the running game with 4 yards and a cloud of dust. So it was kind of unusual. You just come out of the spread, and we were running the ball with power spread versus that too tight double wing, and they were throwing the ball around. So it was kind of an unusual flow to the game, but the Rebels kind of took advantage of a little more depth in Centerville, and were able to stretch it out late into the coming away with 35-14 win in the second round playoff game.
All right. So what does that do for you next week?
So we got the report that we get the winner between Centerville and Columbia, and that ball game went to overtime, and Columbia won that in overtime. So we will host Columbia in the semifinals next week.
Well, they'll be rocking over in Florida, won't they?
Yeah, it will. It was a great crowd tonight. They had a big fireworks show before the game, and the helicopter delivered the game ball and had a huge crowd. They actually had a little get-together tonight where this year was the 40th anniversary of the first state championship at Tri-County, and had probably 20-something players from that 1984 state championship team trying to get recognized at halftime. So
wow.
It was a pretty cool deal over there, in a big crowd in Florida tonight, and we expect much the same next week as we'll see Columbia Academy travel floor next week.
Should be a good one, Cliff. Thanks so much for hanging on with us tonight and giving us that report on Tri-County, and best of luck next week. We'll talk to you next Friday.
Appreciate it, fellas.
Okay. Cliff Barker.
So Tri-County won their first state championship in 1984.
84.
I wonder how many they won.
I was just getting ready to ask the same thing. A bunch.
Probably a lot.
Yeah.
Jake Wimberly.
All right, Jake, we know you didn't play tonight, which means I'm really glad that you're joining us tonight because you're probably doing 1,000 different things on your Friday night off. But tell me about your ball game last night.
Well, first off, Russ, I was telling Ty, hey, I'm not bashful about having a Friday night off. I think I might have moved 10 steps in the last 2 hours, so I'm fine. So I'm fine with that. So, no, hey, we got a chance to play last night in that, 5, 6, 7, 8 Thursday night, finale, and got a win 45 to 22 over Northwest Rankin. That's a really talented team that Devin Cooper's got over there at Northwest Rankin. They'll go on the road and take on Ocean Springs, a team I'm sure you guys probably talked about it or will talk about it. They beat them in overtime in week 2, so that'll make an interesting matchup. For Brandon, though, close the season out at 9-1. 4 straight region championships now for Sam Williams at Brandon. He's 23-1 against region competition, and everybody's healthy. This team is hungry, and last night was senior night. Got a chance to play a lot of the seniors to start that ball game, but the pieces are there. I think Russ and Brandon's not bashful about it. I mean, that's what I was telling Time. It's time to go on hopefully a 4-week run here and end up in Hattiesburg. We'll see, but you got to take it a week at a time. And it starts with the D'Iberville next week.
And this is the D'Iberville team, quite honestly, that has been rebuilding, and now they've kind of put it together, and they're winning ball games.
They are. We had a chance to catch the end of their Biloxi game last night, while we were wrapping up ours, and they, took one on the chin there from Biloxi. Biloxi came back and won that ball game, but they're a team that runs a different style, much like Picayune. We got a chance to see that early in the year, so it should make for an interesting ball game. But one of the things you want to see, Russ, out of this team is people forget this is a young Brandon team, sophomore quarterback. Of course these guys are they played 10 ball games, so they're not really sophomores.
Right.
Sophomore quarterback, sophomore running back. A couple guys in the secondary play sophomore, juniors. There's only about 5 or 6 impact starters on this team that are seniors. So this is still a really young football team Sam Williams has.
Now. Tell me the kids right offhand that you've got on the All-Star games coming up.
Let's see. All-Star games. Quincy Phillips Jr. will be in the All-Star game. And I believe one of the defensive players, Russ, I don't have it in front of me. I'll have to pull that and send it to you. I don't remember. But Quincy's definitely going to be one. You know Quincy well.
Oh, I know him well.
And then there's 1 or 2 more that's going to play, I believe, in the Bernard Blackwell. But, again, they're not a senior-laden team. But the ones that they have, from Quincy to Jay McQueen and a few more, they're really talented seniors.
Yeah, they're licking their chops to play Clinton next year.
Oh, absolutely. Hey, I tell you, Clinton, that was a heck of a year. I know John Carr didn't make the playoffs this year, but, man, the turnaround that he did this year and what they did over there, they are not going to sneak up on anybody next year, I can promise you.
I totally agree. Jake, thanks for staying up with us tonight because I know you didn't have a game and you had to sacrifice some time to be with us tonight. But so many folks really like this Brandon football team, and they love hearing when you give this report. We appreciate you so much, my friend. Have a great weekend.
My pleasure, Russ. Talk to you next week.
All righty. All right, we're going to take a time out here. When we come back, George's going to go over all the scores that we've got. And so you'll be up to date on what's going on around the state. We'll take a time out. Hour number 2 of Friday Night Under the Lights coming up.
At Mississippi Public Broadcasting, we tell local stories that matter. Educational and entertaining television, radio, news, and podcasts. We have something for everyone. So tune in and enjoy all we have to offer. Every day, MPB. Your stories, our mission.
Commercial roofing, reliable and durable solutions for your business. Residential roofing, protecting your home with quality craftsmanship. Metal walls, custom designs for a modern look. Emergency Services. Rapid response to protect your property.
After a recent hailstorm, I needed a total roof replacement. I chose Malone Roofing for the job, and my new roof looks great.
Contact us today for a free inspection. Visit www.ecmalone.com or call 1-833-7-MALONE.
People who come to Cricket stay with Cricket.
I volunteer at a bunny rescue, and with Cricket, my bill is consistent.
Wait, this is huge! A new offer, 5G for 15. You heard it here first. 5G plans starting at $15 a month. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Hello, Mississippi. Did you know that the average student graduates college with $30,000 worth of debt? That amount of debt can delay major life milestones, including getting married, buying a home, and starting a family. But don't worry, we've got some good news for you tonight. College Savings Mississippi and Treasurer David McRae can help you reduce or eliminate that debt. Their plans are flexible and affordable. Start saving for as little as $25 today. Visit treasury.ms.gov/college savings to learn more.
People who come to Cricket stay with Cricket. Cricket gives me the coverage I need at a really fair price.
Stop! This came all the way from the top. New offer, 5G plan starting at $15 a month. Let's go! Smile, you're on Cricket.
Welcome back to Friday Night Under the Lights, hour number 2, fastest 2 hours in sports radio. Big thanks to MPB, Think Radio, for carrying the show. I mean, you can't go anywhere in this state without hearing MPB. And so a lot of folks are traveling. So a lot of them probably went and got something to eat and get in their cars and ready to head home. And so I will turn the microphone over to George, who's got a few scores to go over.
Sure do, and we'll concentrate now on the games tonight. And this is starting with 4A playoff games. Shannon beat Leake Central 48-14. It was Kosciuszko edging Senatobia 15-14. Ripley over West Lauderdale 49-28. Houston shut out South Pontotoc 41-0. Louisville shut out North Pontotoc 35-0. Amory 23, Newton County 7. New Albany 25, Greenwood 12. Itawamba AHS over Choctaw Central 42-21. Forest defeated Bay High 49-7. Lanier over Sumrall 28-21. Quitman 34, Greene County 28. Forest County AHS beat Raymond 49-6. Columbia over Richland 55-3, and Poplarville edged Mendenhall 27-26. A couple other 4A scores. Macomb shut out Lawrence County 33-0, and Northeast Jones beat Pass Christian 31-14. All right, these are 3A games. Boonville over Mooreville 17-7. Rosa Fort 44, Yazoo County 37. Choctaw County over Mantachie 47-6. Winona shut out Coahoma County 35-0. Humphreys shut out North Panola 40-0. East Webster 48, Belmont 6. Aberdeen over Kossuth 28-23. Noxubee County 42, St. Stanislaus 3. Jefferson Davis County beat Wesson 46-26. West Marion shut out Southeast Lauderdale 39-0. Seminary 20, South Pike 12. Jefferson County 38, Hazelhurst 14. Tylertown edged Enterprise Clark 18-17. McGee over Franklin County 39-7. These are also 3A scores. Union over Walnut 55-22. Philadelphia 44. Hatley 3. Sebastopol over East Union 49-21. Calhoun City shut out Riverside 38-0. Eupora 38, Hamilton 20. Pisgah over Amite County 51-20. Heidelberg shut out Clarkdale 66-0. Bogachita 34, St. Andrews 12. Lloyd Star over Pelahatchie 42-3. MAIS over Lake 48-12. Raleigh shut out Wilkinson County 47-0, and Scott Central over Collins, 32-18. Should I go on with 2A?
Yeah.
All right, 2A, Baldwin shut out Smithville 49-0. Strayhorn over Ashland 35-0. It just reminds you how many small schools there are in Mississippi that play football. West Lowndes 52, Tupelo Christian Prep 9, Biggersville over Okolona 56-16. Simmons beat Enterprise Lincoln 58-14. It was Stringer, Granny's favorite school. Stringer defeated Noxapater 36-28. Lumberton 42, McEvans 12. Nanawaya over Leake County 28-12. Taylorsville shut out Ethel 46-0. East Marion 37, South Delta 20. Velma Jackson over Mount Olive 62-6. And that's those are all. Let me see. Those are all 2A scores.
Yeah.
2As. All right. Now I'll give you some MAIS scores. It was Jackson Academy beating PCS 24-20. Hartfield over Madison St. Joe 57-6. Those are 6A scores, MAIS. These are 5A scores. Park Lane 20, Silman 12. Park Lane 42, Silman 12. It was Copiah Academy edging Oak Forest 37-36. Magnolia Heights beat Lamar School 31-21. Leake 45, Simpson Academy 36. 4A, Tri-County over Centerville 35-14. Columbia beat Central Hines 27-21. Bowling Green 34, St. Al 6. It was Wayne Academy over Lee Academy 27-20. These are 3A scores. Riverfield 36, Winona Christian 7. Marshall Academy defeated Greenville Christian 28-26. Kirk 35, North Delta 16. Greenville St. Joe over Canton Academy 22-14. Some 2A MAIS scores. Porter's Chapel lost to DeSoto School 52-6 was the final there. Newton County 49, Bensford Christian 12. Tunica over Prairie View 51-41. Humphreys Academy 40, Delta Academy 16. These are 1A. These are, of course, 8-man scores. Briarfield over Tensas 54-0. Claiborne Academy defeated Marvel 52-16. Lee Academy of Arkansas over Riverdale 64-22. And last but not least, Wilkinson County Christian over Calhoun Academy 62-44.
I was at Wilkinson County Christian a couple of weeks ago.
Okay.
Great folks over there.
All right.
Congratulations to them on that win. All right, Caleb Hamill is on the phone with us now. And Caleb, where were you tonight?
Well, Russ, we had last night Hattiesburg at West Jones, but tonight it was Northeast Jones hosting Pass Christian for the first round of 4A playoffs.
Talk to me about Pass Christian. You know, not a lot of people have been talking about them this year.
Yeah, a decent football team. You know, really good quarterback, noble quarterback in Paris Trevelyan. He's able to make a lot of guys miss when he goes scrambling. Good running back that he has with him back there as well, and Jacques Alexander. But really tonight, you know, when you look at what they put together as kind of an underrated team, really gave Northeast Jones some fits in the first half. Had a 7-6 lead at the break. Defensively, I really feel like is where they've shined, at least during this ball game, in that those 6 points were 2 field goals for Northeast Jones. They could not get in the end zone early, but that's when it kind of broke down after the first half. And we can go on and talk a little bit about Northeast Jones and how they come out with the win tonight, 31-14. As Pass Christian had that lead, they give the ball back to Northeast Jones to start the third quarter. Drive from the 5-yard line, they go 95 yards, 15 plays, and burn over 8 minutes off the clock. And it's hard to kind of get your footing back. Your offense has been sitting on ice since about 20 minutes before, if not longer. And all of a sudden, you see Pass Christian start to make miscues. They have a pass that is caught but then fumbled. Northeast picks it up, returns it for a touchdown. It's quickly 21-7 because Northeast went for 2 on that touchdown earlier. And then I believe it was the next drive for Pass Christian. had their punt blocked, and then picked up in return for a touchdown. In the blink of an eye, Northeast Jones is up by not just one, but 3 scores.
Wow.
And later got a final field goal to kind of put it on ice to make it a 17-point win, 31-14. But this is a Northeast Jones wing T offense that's tough to bring down, a lot of misdirection, and they operate it to perfection under first-year head coach Ryan Milner.
Talk to me about your game last night.
Yeah, guys, this is one where just a couple bad things went West Jones' way. Although good things early on, they start off the game with a good defensive stop. They block the punt of Hattiesburg and get the ball 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line and don't come away with points. Turn it over on downs, going for it on 4th and 1, don't get it. Hattiesburg's next drive, they throw an interception. West starts at the 9-yard line, and they only get a field goal out of it. So it missed opportunities early on for West Jones, and one of the keys that really drove home the problems for their offense were that 2 guys on the right side of the offensive line were unavailable due to injury. And so all of a sudden this running attack with Elijah Jones and Tootie Lindsay, who played quarterback the entire night, just couldn't get downhill with a wet football as well. Lindsay struggled to pass and connect with his receivers, and all in all, the offense wasn't there for West Jones, which led to the defense having to be out there so long, and that's why Hattiesburg was able to take it away 24-9.
All right, Caleb. Well, do you know where you'll be next week yet?
Hopefully, I'm still on this earth next year, but South Jones and Wayne County.
Oh, you'll have a good one.
Week.
Yeah, you'll have a good one.
Oh, it should be.
All right.
Yeah, it should be a good one on the reservation in Ellisville. Look forward to it.
There you go, Caleb. Thanks for the call, my friend, and we'll look forward to talking to you next week and next year.
Sounds good. Toss it over to Jared Schatz as we keep this kind of state championship radio network crew thing going.
There you go. There you go. Chris, we got Jared hanging around.
There he is.
Jared, good evening, my friend.
Gentlemen, how are we tonight? And Mr. Caleb Hamill as well.
Yes, he's got that state championship lineup coming, and so you better swing it over to Jared. All right, talk to me about the Mavericks. What's going on?
Yeah, so, kind of an odd deal where, Murrah dropped out. So we had the final regular season week off. We didn't have a ball game. And it's like I told you guys, it was kind of weird coming into this because we had to watch kind of like the NCAA basketball tournament committee. You're basically sitting there on the bubble, and we were watching that Clinton-Madison Central game because if Clinton lost, that punched our ticket in. And Madison Central took care of business, so the Mavs will be in the playoffs on the road at Oxford to start things off next week.
This is not the year that Oxford has had in the past couple of years. They're good. They're good. They're a solid football team, but nobody's talking about them. And when that happens, they can pop you.
That's exactly right. I mean, Coach Cutcliffe has done a tremendous job up there. And, guys, this is where our season ended a year ago in round one.
Yep.
We were up 8 points at the end of that ball game last year. All we had to do was get a first down and hit the ground. Well, a massive hole opened up, and it's hard to tell a young man who's taken off, I think it was around 80 yards, to fall down on the ground. We score. We go up 8 points. Oxford drives the field in under a minute. They get the 2-point conversion. We go to overtime. They win that game. So we've had a nasty taste in our mouth from losing at Oxford a year ago. This is the setup we want. We would love to go to Oxford, get a win. I think we're a better team than we were a year ago. We're healthy now. If things go, let's say we pull the upset. I know that's a lot going on with that prediction. Not saying it's going to happen, but we got a good chance at it. If we're able to do that, Madison Central, if they take care of business, we could get them in the second round. We played them very well a couple weeks ago.
And, Jared, when Germantown was formed as a high school, this is kind of the matchup everybody is waiting for. If things go well for y'all next week, this Madison-Germantown matchup is probably grudge match, unbelievably grudge match.
Absolutely. It's one of those where I don't want to call it a rivalry yet. You got to beat somebody to make it a rivalry. But that's the first ball game, guys. We have hung around with them really since they started tangling up. I think it's 5 or 6 years ago. So Germantown has not played well against Madison Central, so if they take care of business, they've had 2 weeks to get ready for a playoff game if they got in. So we're healthy. We've had a week off. I like our chances going up to Oxford. If that holds up and we do our part, now that we believe we can beat Madison Central, who knows? It's got to happen at some point. We'll see. Don't want to get too far ahead, but it could match up very well for Germantown.
Well, I know that you remembered that game for the game coming up next week. You remember that last year's game, and I remember the phone call you made. Just couldn't believe that that it ended the way it did. I mean, it was just kind of a shock.
Yeah, I mean, you talked to, you remember like Tommy Tuberville was known as the Riverboat Gambler.
Yeah.
I really feel like that's Coach Cutcliffe up at Oxford. I mean, they always have a bag of tricks.
They do, Jared. Well, we will look forward to talking to you next week. We'll really look forward to your coverage here on MPB Think Radio of the state championship playoffs. You do an outstanding job, and I know that you'll have all the games covered with great guys calling it, and it should be a fun weekend for you.
Should be a blast. 4 weeks from tonight, we'll be wrapping up day 2 of the championship. It's going to be a lot of fun.
All right, Jared. Thanks, brother.
Thanks, guys.
Well, we are going to step aside, take a time out. Tonight's show's been made possible by the folks at Malone Roofing, which will be glad to give you a roof inspection. And with all the weather we've had this year, it's probably not a bad idea. We'll take a time out, and when we come back, we'll go back to the phones in a moment.
If the money's yours, you should have it. That's why State Treasurer David McRae has returned a record $80 million in unclaimed money to Mississippians. And there's hundreds of millions more, maybe with your name on it. Check the list. Visit www.treasury.ms.gov and see if you have any of the unclaimed money. Each year, banks, utilities, businesses, brokers, and insurance companies turn over millions of dollars to the state because they're not sure who is entitled to the funds. Treasurer McRae has an entire unclaimed money staff waiting to take your claim and return your money. Check the list today. Treasury.ms.gov. Mississippi football families, have you thought about how you're going to tackle student loan debt? Don't do it on your own. Pass the ball to State Treasurer David McRae and his College Savings Mississippi team today. With College Savings Mississippi, you can lock in today's tuition rate, prepay college, and avoid student loan debt altogether. Don't let your finances get sacked because you didn't invest in your child's education. Visit treasury.ms.gov/college savings to learn more today.
Trusted by homeowners and businesses across the Southeast. Commercial roofing, reliable and durable solutions for your business. Residential roofing, protecting your home with quality craftsmanship. Metal walls, custom designs for a modern look. Emergency services, rapid response to protect your property.
After a recent hailstorm, I needed a total roof replacement. I chose Malone Roofing for the job. They delivered top-notch service, and my new roof looks great.
We started looking for roofers when we realized that we had leaks throughout our facilities in our district. What stood out to me about Malone Roofing was great customer service, a fine finished project, and great follow-up. I would definitely work with Malone Roofing again.
My project was a little more complicated than just needing a new roof. I decided that Malone would be who we needed to work with that would do the best job for us. My experience working with Malone was wonderful.
Contact us today for a free inspection. Visit www.ecmalone.com or call 1-833-7-MALONE.
Welcome back to Friday Night Under the Lights. Russ and George with you on this Friday night. Chris Saxton, our producer. Ty Bailey on the telephone tonight, taking your calls at 877-672-7464. And we're going to go, we got the ticker. Dr. Dave has got the ticker working on the website. Just go to fnutl.com And it'll come up, and if you're missing a score, Dr. Dave will have it on the ticker. I think it's on the what, Chris? On the right-hand side of the screen?
Yes.
Okay.
Right over the top of George's head. To the right of it, not over the top. But
Yes, can't be over the top.
No.
We got Ty Bowles, who's his Crystal Springs Tigers aren't in it. But you were more interested tonight in Hazelhurst than you were Crystal Springs. Is that right?
That is right, Russ.
Because you want to go to work Monday and rub it in.
I'm going to go to work Monday because they rubbed it into me last Friday. So I'm going to rub it into them this coming Monday.
And Hazelhurst.
Like, where's Hazelhurst? Oh, that's right. They're sitting at the house, too.
Well, yeah, Jefferson County did defeat Hazelhurst tonight. Ty, 38-14 was the final.
Yes.
So you've got plenty to crow about. We got a bunch of people on. Go ahead and say it, my man. Thanks, buddy. You know, Texas playing Florida tomorrow. So that should be a pretty good ball game.
Yeah.
I don't know who the state's got. Who they have?
They have Tennessee.
Ooh.
And Knoxville.
Ooh.
Yeah.
All right. Who are we going to now?
Harold.
Oh, man, have we been waiting on this
There's
call.
Harold.
And I put you in the rotation tonight, Harold. You're in the rotation the rest of the way, big boy. I mean, we're going to have to find out about those. It is conceivable, Harold, that the Panthers could make it deep into the playoff if they get the right teams.
Yeah, it is. It really is, my friend. Last night was a well-played ball game. It was our senior night. Great bunch of senior boys, you know, and it was fantastic. Yeah, it's going to be interesting, but you know, y'all gave the scenario tonight. We get to Gulfport Admirals next week.
Where?
And then at Gulfport.
All right.
And then we get, if we make it, we'll probably have to go to Brandon.
Oh, wow! What a
I think I heard a scenario that if we would have hosted and got Biloxi, it would have been a different way. We probably would have had to play Oak Grove again, maybe. But the scenarios on that coastline right now, because you got 4 good teams on the coast. You know, you can't count none of them out.
Right.
You got 4 good teams here. I told you, and that was earlier back then. 7-8 was up in the winds, Russ.
Yep.
It's been in the winds. But, and like George said, I got to see how Brandon looks. Guys, they are big. I'm telling you.
Yep.
They are. There's something. There's something else.
And they're young. That's the thing.
And they're young.
Yeah.
That's the thing about it. They're young. They'll be around next year. But, you know, got a great staff, like I said, great administration, great staff of guys, great man, Coach Bulls. I hope a lot of them, I know they're hearing me tonight, but all I can say is this has been a awesome season for Pell. And I mean, we'll come out strong and go down and we'll play at Gulfport next week, and then, you know, we'll see how the scenario goes. The Outerville, I wish them luck. But, you know, and then, you know, you got Northwest ranking going to a team that I didn't even think at the beginning of the season was going to be there.
0-4.
You
0-4.
You know, you made that prediction about the Greyhounds.
Yep.
You made that prediction about them. You said, look out, people, and, hey, where'd they come from? Where did they come from?
And more importantly, where are they going? I mean, this is a team that has flown under the radar all year long, and now they're starting to play their best football of the season. And you're right. You got good teams on the coast. You got good teams here. I talked to Coach Bulls yesterday. I was going to try to get him on the show tonight. I believe he is coming on next week. So, but I, congratulate him on the great season. He has such a great attitude about life in general, you know.
And I didn't see you last night, so I mean, I figured where was Russ at? So, but we'll all probably meet up because I'm like this. Whoever's in those championship games, I'm probably going to go watch them, just to
to be up there to see you guys and look at those play-by-plays, because it's been another great year to work with y'all. I mean, it has been fantastic.
Well, we're not done yet, Harold. We're going to keep you around. I may put you on if Pedal Panthers get knocked out, I may put you on assignment to go find another team and call us on Friday night. Just kind of.
Hey, I tell you, Mike was off tonight, but I had to do a little basketball at Federal High School tonight, so I had my little work done tonight. So
well, good for you. Good for you. Well, so, I got a basketball game tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock. Can't tell you how excited I am about that. Hey, Harold, we got to run. We got a lot of folks on, but we look forward to seeing you in the next couple of weeks, and we look forward to seeing how you guys do with Gulfport.
All right, and we will give you the call next week.
Sounds good, my friend. Thanks so much, Harold.
All right, guys. All right, man.
Bye-bye.
All right, y'all have a good one. Bye-bye.
Russ, we got a new caller on. His name is Will Tony, and he wants to talk about the Columbia Academy and Central Hines game.
Good.
Here's Will.
Will, this is Russ Robinson. How are you tonight?
Russ, it's Will Tony. It's been a long time since we talked. Good to hear your voice again. I had the privilege of being on the play-by-play call for Columbia Academy tonight. Now, this is the Columbia Academy team that pulled Joey Hawkins out of retirement. Okay?
Yep.
And they had gone a few years, hadn't done so hot. Tonight was the first time in 7 years, okay, they had made it to round 2 of the playoffs.
Ooh.
And they made it, and tonight it didn't feel originally like it was going to be that tight of a game. Columbia Academy jumped out to a pretty decent lead. Some miscues from Central Hines. Columbia Academy took a 21-7 lead into the half, and there was a scoreless third quarter. Fast forward to the fourth quarter, and a couple of mistakes here and there. Central Hines catches up, and they tie the ball game with about 45 seconds left to go.
Oh.
Columbia Academy tries to kick a field goal. They attempted it wide left. They go into overtime. It's fourth down from about the 13-yard line for Central Hines. And they throw an interception at about the 2-yard line. So Columbia Academy takes over. They start from the 10-yard line. And then I think it was down about 8 yards to go. Just pretty – they threw a pass, but it was incomplete. Then the quarterback, all of a sudden, he just runs straight up the middle and makes it into the end zone, and Columbia Academy wins 27-21. And I talked with Coach Joey Hawkins after the game, and I said, "Congratulations, Coach! Your grand prize for winning round 2 of the playoffs. You get to go and take on Tri-County."
Oh!
He laughed about that just a little bit, but you know Joey. And
I do.
He's a great coach, and he's a wonderful guy. And so the opportunity that he has to be back in there molding these young men is pretty special to him.
Well, Will, I don't know if you remember when we talked, it was about Joey coming out of retirement and taking that program. And I told you then, I said, I don't know how long it's going to take him, but he's going to make those guys a winner. And I'll tell you what, folks at Tri-County had better get ready, because when Joey Hawkins gets a team ready to play, they play.
Absolutely. And they will run through a brick wall for him, and you never know what Joey's got up his sleeve.
No. No, you really don't, but it should be a good matchup. Will, give us a buzz next week and let us know about that ball game, if you don't mind.
I will absolutely do that, Russ. Good to talk to you again.
Good to talk to you, Will. Take care, my friend. Enjoy your weekend.
We'll try to try to get Brian Grantham, Granny, in here before we get to the break. Okay, Granny, I know where you were tonight, but talk to you. Weren't you at a game last night?
No, I was not at a game last night.
All right, so tonight you were in that.
I was working last night.
That's right. But you were Northeast Jones tonight, right?
Yeah, I was at the other sticks tonight, the east side of the sticks.
There's an east side sticks and a west side sticks. You were on the east side tonight.
I was on the other stick. I call it the other stick, but it is the east side. of the county. But I've never had an open date.
Never had an open date?
Never had an open date. I've never had y'all keep talking about open dates. I ain't never had one. So, yeah.
Well, that's a good thing. Tell me about your game tonight.
Well, Northeast Jones has got a good defense. I don't see how far scored 21 points on them because they are a brick wall. I mean, it's hard to get around those guys. It's similar to the West Jones defense last year, but not quite that good, but it's close.
That's
it's
good defense, yeah.
I mean, they blocked 2 punts and recovered them for a touchdown, and their kickers kicked 3 field goals tonight.
Now, the 2 punts they blocked, they got touchdowns on both?
On both of them. I've never seen that. Two block punts touchdowns in the same game. I've never seen that.
All right, hang on, Granny. We're gonna keep you through the break and talk to you for just a minute. We got some time, but we're gonna step aside and take a break here. Tonight's show has been made possible by the State Treasurer David McRae of Mississippi, who has the College Savings Program and the Unclaimed Money Program. Check them out. You need to check both of them out. We'll take a time out and be back with more on MPB Think Radio.
At Mississippi Public Broadcasting, we tell local stories that matter. Educational and entertaining television, radio, news, and podcasts. We have something for everyone. So tune in and enjoy all we have to offer. Every day, MPB. Your stories, our mission.
Mississippi football families, have you thought about how you're going to tackle student loan debt? Don't do it on your own. Pass the ball to State Treasurer David McRae and his College Savings Mississippi team today. With College Savings Mississippi, you can lock in today's tuition rate, prepay college, and avoid student loan debt altogether. Don't let your finances get sacked because you didn't invest in your child's education. Visit treasury.ms.gov/college savings to learn more today. 1 in 10 Mississippians has unclaimed money awaiting claim at the state treasury. There's literally hundreds of millions of dollars waiting to be united with the rightful owner. At www.treasury.ms.gov to search. You'll see your name and stake your claim by following these instructions. You'll be asked for some basic ID like a copy of your license or a government-issued ID, then hit send. Treasurer David McRae has a dedicated unclaimed money team awaiting your claim, ready to return your money. Don't wait. Look for your name and stake your claim today. www.treasury.ms.gov.
I was spending too much money in 5G, and then my son suggested that I should try cricket. It was easy to switch.
And we love easy. Yeah! Smile, you're on cricket.
I was spending too much money in 5G, and then my son suggested that I should try cricket. It was easy to switch.
And we love easy. Yeah! Smile, you're on cricket.
Cricket has free Samsung Galaxy phones. Whoa! Free phone? That's 5G. And nationwide coverage.
Pretty good deal.
Smile, you're on cricket.
Welcome back to Friday Night Under the Lights, talking to Brian Granny Grantham, who was at Northeast Jones tonight. What does that do to the playoff picture for either of those teams?
Well, tonight was, it was a playoff game. East Jones is a 2 seed.
Oh, that's right.
Petrosian was a 3 seed. So they going to Macomb next week is what I've been told.
To play Park Lane?
No, to play Macomb.
They're going to play Macomb.
Northeast Jones going to play Macomb.
Okay, all right, but they got to go on the road to do it. Do you have any idea where you're going to be next week?
No, but I'll be somewhere. And I want you to tell Ray Coleman he can go with me next week. He wants to.
He may have to have his 6-year-old along with you.
Hey, that'd be fine. Hey, I finally met Caleb Hamill tonight. I finally met Caleb. He's a good guy, good to talk to. So
Yes,
it was
yes.
good meeting him tonight.
You had, he's going to be doing a ball game tomorrow where Philip Palmertree is going to be. He's going to be calling that Northeast.
East Central.
East Central, yes, thank you.
East Central and Holmes.
And Holmes, yeah, should be a good football game.
That's where I'm going tomorrow. I'm going there tomorrow.
I figured you'd be there. You'd be there.
Yeah, we're gonna have it covered.
All right. Well, look, man. Thanks for the call tonight. We'll look forward to finding out where you're going to be next week, and enjoy your football game tomorrow.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks. That's Brian Grantham. All right. Who do we got on? All right. So, George, while we got this time, the folks, a lot of them probably just got in their car. Let's go over the scores again that we got.
All right.
You might start with the 8-man since this is the 8-man
There's
segment.
8-man segment.
Well,
yes,
that's true.
Yes, that's true.
Sorry to
interrupt.
interrupt. Sorry to interrupt.
That's
there.
why you're
No.
producing, Chris.
Well,
to keep
I'm
us right where we're supposed to be.
I just don't have a way to tell you quietly.
Chris, you've never been quiet.
No, Thank you. I know.
All right, 1A. These are 8-man scores. It was Briarfield Academy. That's Briarfield, Louisiana, over Tensas, 54-0. Claiborne Academy defeated Marvel, 52-16. It was Lee Academy, also out of Arkansas, defeating Riverdale, 64-22. And it was Calhoun Academy edging Wilkinson County Christian, or actually Wilkinson County Christian defeating Calhoun Academy 62-44. Let me give you this. I'm not going to go through all the scores, but I'm going to give you some select scores. These are, let's see, let me give you, these are 4A scores from tonight. It was Shannon defeating League Central 48-14. Ripley defeated West Lauderdale 49-28. Kosciuszko edged Senatobia 15-14. Amory over Newton County 23-7. Louisville 35, North Pontotoc nothing. Itawamba AHS 42, Choctaw Central 21. Forest over Bay High 49-7. Poplarville edged Mendenhall 27-26. And it was Macomb shutting out Lawrence County 33-0. Now these are 3A, some select 3A first round games. Choctaw County over Mantachie 47-6. Winona shut out Coahoma County 35-0. Humphreys County over North Panola 40-0. It was Kossuth beating Aberdeen, or actually Aberdeen defeating Kossuth 28-23. Aberdeen the winner there. Jefferson Davis County over Wesson 46-26. Noxubee County over St. Stanislaus 42-3. And it was Tylertown edging Enterprise Clark 18-17. Those were all 3A scores. These are a few more 3A scores. Senatobia or Sebastopol over East Union 49-21. Eupora 38, Hamilton 20, Pisgah over Emmett County 51-20. These are some 2A scores. Baldwin shutting out Smithville 49-0. Strayhorn beat Ashland 35-0. It was Biggersville 56, Okolona 16. Simmons over Enterprise Lincoln 58-14. Seems like Simmons was always
in it.
Yeah, they're always in it.
Used to be Hollandale Simmons, and they're always in it.
Yes, that's correct. And let's see, Lumberton over Shaw or McEvans 42-12. Nanawaya defeated Leake County 28-6. Taylorsville shut out Ethel 46-0. East Marion 37, South Delta 20, and Velma Jackson over Mount Olive 62-6.
You know, Velma Jackson was in the state championships last year.
Yes, they were, and they had a good season. I think they lost right there at the end, but that was their That was their ninth win of the season. They're now 9-1.
Yeah, having most of those kids from that team last year came back.
All right, let me give you some more MAIS scores. These are 6A. These are playoffs. Jackson Academy edged PCS in a close game, 24-20. PCS gave them all they could want. Hartfield, no trouble with Madison St. Joe, 56-7. Let's see. These are 5A scores. Park Lane over Silliman, 42-12. It was Copiah Academy edging Oak Forest, 37-36. Magnolia Heights, 31. Lamar School, 21. Leake Academy over Simpson, 45-36. Some 4A scores. Tri-County beat Centerville, 35-14. Columbia Academy over Central Hines, 27-21. Bowling Green, 34. St. Stanislaus, 6. Wayne Academy over Lee Academy, 27-20. And these are 3A scores. Riverfield over Winona Christian, 36-7. Marshall Academy over Greenville Christian, 28-26. Kirk Academy, 35. North Delta, 16. It was Greenville St. Joe beating Canton Academy, 22-14. And finally wrapping up 2A, it was DeSoto School defeating Porter's Chapel, 52-6. Newton County over Bensford Christian, 49-12. Tunica, 51. Prairie View, 41. And finally, last but not least, but Humphreys Academy, 40, and Delta Academy, 16.
We're going to be in an 8-man game next week. Clayton Jackson is going to be there for the whole ball game, and we haven't figured out which one that we're going to do yet. Cricket's going to be there, and they'll have a lot of fun there with them. And I've got to get in touch with the State Treasurer Mississippi because they're going to want to be there as well. So, I mean, a lot of good times next week, but that will be the semifinals. And then, as I understand it, the finals are at JA and Mississippi College some.
Right.
Yeah. And so, but the 8-man, I think, is going to be at JA.
Normally it is, yeah.
So we'll keep an eye on those scores. We're efforting Tony Vance right now to talk with him about, and we're going to be talking with Brandon Schultz. You know, he covered tonight Ripley and West Lauderdale, and you talk about two programs that are under the radar. That's the game he was going to go to tonight. I'm pretty excited about that because we haven't talked much about either one of those two schools. And I hope, and we're efforting also Dee Moyer, who's going to talk about the voting for the All-Star game. That guy that got left off of the roster, and folks have been able to vote for that, and they've also been able to vote for the fan.
You mean there was another election this time?
Yeah, well, yeah,
this is really getting confusing. Yeah.
Well, I can straighten one of them out.
Oh, okay.
But they're going to. I believe the voting is still going until I believe it's next Wednesday. But Dee can fill us in on that. But you can still vote, and you can vote for the best band, and so that should be a lot of fun. And then the All-Star game coming with that extra guy. I mean, how'd you like to be the guy? They already announced the rosters, and all of a sudden you're called and said, "Hey, you're on that roster."
You're the fan favorite.
That's the Fan's Choice.
That's right.
Fan's Choice Award. We have not heard from Ainsley Brent down on the coast, but pretty. I'm telling you now, this Ocean Springs team.
They got off to a bad start.
Well, they had a terrible. Had a terrible schedule.
Right.
It was just brutal, but then they started clicking, and of course they're going to be in the playoffs now, 7A.
Yeah. Do you want me to give you some scores from Thursday night?
Yeah.
And they, I'll not give them all, but Brookhaven beat Natchez 36-20. Neshoba Central over Callaway 33-14. Holmes County Central beat Canton 54-14. 44-33. Biloxi edged D'Iberville 24-23. Stone over East Central 24-6. Greenville over Gentry 18-6. Grenada beat South Panola 21-13. Gulfport over Harrison Central 49-21. Hattiesburg beat West Jones 24-9. Let's see, Madison Central beat Clinton 49-39. Pearl beat Meridian 35-19. And I'll give you one more. Oak Grove over Petal 24-21.
It must have been a heck of a game. You know, those schools are separated by what, 10 miles?
Maybe at the most.
Maybe.
Yeah. And Oak Grove, has had such a strong team, and they've had kind of an up and down year too. Yeah. You know, they got really drilled by Madison Central. By MRA. Yeah. Which was a little bit of a surprise that they got beat that badly, but they've kind of gotten their feet underneath them, and they're playing a lot better.
Well, we're going to take our last time out. Brandon Shields is on deck, and he went to Ripley and West Lauderdale tonight, and we'll get that report from him. We will step aside and take a time out. You're listening to Friday Night Under the Lights on MPB Think Radio. We'll take a time out and be back with Brandon Shields in a moment.
At Mississippi Public Broadcasting, we tell local stories that matter. Educational and entertaining television, radio, news, and podcasts. We have something for everyone. So tune in and enjoy all we have to offer. Every day, MPB. Your stories, our mission.
Mississippi football families, have you thought about how you're going to tackle student loan debt? Don't do it on your own. Pass the ball to State Treasurer David McRae and his College Savings Mississippi team today. With College Savings Mississippi, you can lock in today's tuition rate, prepay college, and avoid student loan debt altogether. Don't let your finances get sacked because you didn't invest in your child's education. Visit treasury.ms.gov/college savings to learn more today. 1 in 10 Mississippians has unclaimed money awaiting claim at the state treasury. There's literally hundreds of millions of dollars waiting to be united with the rightful owner. At www.treasury.ms.gov to search. You'll see your name and stake your claim by following these instructions. You'll be asked for some basic ID like a copy of your license or a government-issued ID, then hit send. Treasurer David McRae has a dedicated unclaimed money team awaiting your claim, ready to return your money. Don't wait. Look for your name and stake your claim today. www.treasury.ms.gov.
I was paying too much money in 5G, and then my son suggested that I should try cricket. It was easy to switch.
And we love easy. Yeah! Smile, you're on cricket.
I was paying too much money in 5G, and then my son suggested that I should try cricket. It was easy to switch.
And we love easy. Yeah! Smile, you're on cricket.
Cricket has free Samsung Galaxy phones. Whoa! Free phones? That's 5G. And nationwide coverage.
Pretty good deal.
Smile, you're on cricket.
Welcome back to the last segment of Friday Night Under the Lights. Russ Robinson along with George Broadstreet, Chris Saxon producing tonight, Ty Bailey on the telephone. And on the telephone is Brandon Shields, who I'm hoping, did you have to go to Ripley on this game tonight, or was it at West Lauderdale?
It was at West Lauderdale. I was driving 4 hours for a high school football game. I love my job, but I'm not that. That's dedication.
that is.
4 hours. West Lauderdale is an hour and 25 minute drive from my house, so it's not terrible, but it's doable. So,
but that Ripley wouldn't have, boy, that's a drive up there. Tell me about the ball game.
West Lauderdale wins 49-28. Ripley kind of is, the two teams combined for over 500 rushing yards.
Whoa.
Ripley had 302. West Lauderdale had the rest. So 270, about 274 rushing yards. So Caden Peoples, West Lauderdale's quarterback, had 4 total touchdowns, 2 passing and 2 rushing. Travion Mosley, the little running back for West Lauderdale, had 2 rushing touchdowns, 20-yard punt return for a touchdown. So, a big play of the game, actually. But Ripley coming into this game, Ripley struggled to score all season. They had scored only 30 points or more one time all year. Scored 28 in this one, so, and had a pretty young team. So Perry Lyles, me and him were talking after the game, and they're like, "Hey man, you lose, but you got some confidence with a very young team going into next year." So,
you know, a lot of people, Brandon, don't know that Perry Lyles is over there.
Yeah, even after he retired from Coyote City, he retired for a year, and this is his 3rd year back at Ripley now, I want to say.
I know at least 2. It may be 3.
I think it's his 3rd year back at Ripley. That's he's a very good coach. He gets a lot out of his kids. They do what they do. They're gonna run the ball. They're gonna take time off the clock. They're gonna limit your possessions, and they did a good job of it tonight. West Lauderdale made the more explosive plays.
What does this do for West Lauderdale for next week?
Next week they host Houston, 2nd round. Houston beat South Pontotoc. They played last night.
Right.
Won 41-0. I mean, just around the playoffs, you know, I think about 7 or 8 road teams won tonight on the road. Obviously, the big one tonight was Quitman beating Greene County on the road. That's the shot. That's the biggest. I'd like to know what a Kylan Deere did for Quitman tonight, as far as stat line. That was a big time upset. Did not see that one coming.
Well, let me ask you something, Brandon, because you work with Chris Brooks on the magazine, which is kind of the high school Bible, if you will. Is there a team that comes to your mind, maybe even a team or two, that comes to your mind that surprises you that they're in the playoffs that you thought they probably wouldn't be when you were doing all of your reports in August?
Yeah. Shoot, it wasn't in August. It was in June and July when we were getting
August when it came out. That's right.
During the summer, you're thinking, all right, and it happens every year where we have a team ranked. Well, actually, I know the last 3 years we've had a team ranked in the preseason top 10 doesn't make the playoffs. Well, this year, thankfully, that streak ended.
Yep.
But this year, you know, we were like in 5A, we're thinking Clarksdale. Clarksdale had a lot coming back, a good bit back from last year's team that reached the North State title game, and now they didn't make the playoffs. Pontotoc made the playoffs out of Region 1-5A. That was a team that they run the wishbone offense, so they run kind of a back in the day style offense that kind of confuses or doesn't teams. It's hard to prepare for.
So, and Plata Talks was kind of a team that, and I did not see them making the playoffs. Yep, they're in the playoffs. So, another one was called New Hope. Yep. Alan Flynn has done a great job at New Hope. New Hope has been, there's no shortcut, but it's been a bad football team the last last 3 years. Alan Glenn coming into the season, they're coming into this week. They were 8-1, playing West Point for the district championship, and lo and behold, they held it was 14-7 games. They're a greedy team. Now they're 8-2. 8-2, a 2 seed in the playoffs. Get to host a playoff game. That's definitely one good team coming.
Have you ever been to that New Hope facility? It's nice.
I've never been there.
I went up for a ball game up there. It's very, very nice. And you're right. I mean, this is a team in New Hope that just, for the past couple of years, just has struggled. But it looks like they've put it all together for this year, and we'll see what they do in the playoffs. So, I've been asking some folks tonight what they think about 7A, and you get 10 people in a room. I think you're gonna get probably 7 different opinions. What do you think about championship game 7A?
I mean, right now, there's about 4 teams that could win it.
Yep.
So any of those 4, you can put them in a hat and just draw it out. It wouldn't shock me. And then there could be a surpriser team, a team we're not talking about. Maybe a
Warren Central.
Warren Central 6A, but they would be one of them.
Yep.
In 6A, but 7A, you got Brandon, Oak Grove, Madison, Tupelo. It's one of them 4. But you have a team like, Ocean Springs that's hot right now.
Yep.
So you have a team like Ocean Springs that's really kind of, they struggled to start the season, but they once district play started, they kind of, and got some key players back that were injured to start the year. They started clicking and playing well, and same goes for a team like Oxford. You never know what Chris Cutcliffe is going to come out of the bag on a Friday night. They have trick plays for miles. You never know what they're going to do.
Chris, he's a great coach.
He's a great coach and a great guy. I love working with him. And their game with Germantown next week should be a good one.
It's going to be a good one.
Really?
Yeah.
So that's going to be a fun one.
Well, I tell you, it's been another good week of high school football, and PCS put up a fight against JA tonight, and fell short. But
obviously the best game next week is MRA Hartfield, round 2. So that should be another good one.
And I'm not even going to ask you who you think is going to win that one.
You can literally flip a coin on that one.
That should be a fun one.
Obviously, the biggest thing is the key is Hartfield don't get behind 21-0 at the end of the first quarter. You take that away, they win the ball game.
That's right.
Literally.
That's right. Well, we go run, Brandon. Be careful coming home, my friend. We'll talk to you next week after that ball game.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, Brandon Shields with us. Wow, another show just flew by.
That's week 12. Already up to week 13 next week.
Wow, and it should be a good one. Hey, everybody, enjoy your college sports tomorrow and your pro on Sunday, and be back with us on Friday night on the nights next week. Have a great weekend, everyone.